What's up, guys? This is Citizen Z with Citizen Z Animations. And I'd like to talk to you about the first thing you do as an animator in a small studio. Ladies and gentlemen, aspiring animators, caffeine addicts, Felix, who you can hear in the background, and those who mistakenly wandered in thinking this was the free donut table. Welcome. Let's talk about that magical, awkward, and occasionally soul crushing moment. Your first day as an animator in a small studio. And this is coming from experience, people. Not a Pixar studio, not DreamWorks. No, I'm talking about the kind of studio where the ceiling leaks when it rains, the computers hum like dying squirrels, and the only thing more outdated than the software is your boss's knowledge of it. Let me set the scene. You walk in, all bright eyed, bushy tailed, holding your little USB drive like it's the key to the universe. You've memorized the 12 principles of animation, practiced your squash and stretch, and spent the night before watching the Animator's survival kit under your pillow like it was going to seep into your brain via osmosis. You enter the building. Well, more like a repurposed dentist office that now houses five animators, one overworked producer, and a cat named Maurice, who may or may not be a freelancer. The walls are plastered with old concept art, sticky notes, and passive aggressive signs about cleaning the microwave. Now, the first thing you expect to do is animate, right? I mean, that's why you're here. You're ready to dazzle them with your keyframes. You sit down, and nope, not happening. The first real thing you do is wait. You wait for someone to find the person who is supposed to onboard you, who turns out to be either sick, on vacation, or possibly even jail. It's unclear. While you wait, you do what every new hire does: pretend to be productive. You organize your pens. You open and close After Effects. You stare at the wall like you're trying to mentally texture it, right? Finally, someone throws you a lifeline. A senior animator slides over in a chair that squeaks like a haunted accordion and gives you your first task. Can you fix his character rig? His knees bend the wrong way like a crab, but less natural. You nod, fully unqualified to dive into the file. 20 minutes later, your character's face is where the butt should be. His eyes are spinning like cursed slot machines. Congratulations. You just failed your first test, and yet somehow you are still more qualified than the last intern. Then comes the introduction to the pipeline, or as it's known in a small studio, the thing we swear we'll fix when we have time. Spoiler, there never is time. There's no fancy asset management software, no automated render queues. There's a shared Dropbox folder called Final, absolutely final. This one, use this.mp4. And inside that folder, chaos, right? Just pure chaos just erupts everywhere. Files nested within files like a Russian doll with commitment issues. You learn quickly that in a small studio, everyone does everything. Today, you're animating a squirrel. Tomorrow, you're recording your own footsteps because the sound guy got food poisoning. And if you think you're too good to record your own footsteps, guess what? You're not. Because you will find yourself in a stairwell clamping shoes together like a deranged folly artist. But let's rewind for a second. The actual first thing before the fake productivity, before the cursed Cradney rig, before you realize the kitchen fridge has a colony of sediment yogurt cups, the first thing that you do is observe. You look around the room and realize this is not a studio filled with people doing a job. It's a bunker filled with rebels, survivors, mad scientists, people who have sacrificed sleep, socialize, and at least one romantic relationship to bring a cartoon to life. And that is when it hits you. You're home. Now let's talk about studio hierarchy. In big studios, they've got producer, lead, supervisors, and middle management types who use words like synergy, circle back. In small studios, the hierarchy is based on who can fix the printer, who brings the snacks, and who last won the Office Mario Kart tournament. Titles don't mean much. The guy who animated the hero's final battle last week is now plunging the toilet, and not even angrily. He's just good at it. Oh, and your boss. Oh my God. And your boss is a whirlwind, a caffeine chug tornado who says things like, we're pitching to Netflix tomorrow, while simultaneously trying to figure out why everyone renders are pink. So, what do you do really on that first day? You adapt. You ask questions. You overthink everything you do. You panic text your animation mentor. You question your life choices. You Google how to survive a creative breakdown, and then you find your groove. You get the hang of the chaos. You learn that when someone says it's due Friday, they mean it's due Friday unless something breaks, someone gets sick, the client changes their mind, or Mercury is in retrograde. You start bringing your own snacks. You bond over deadline stress. You laugh, you cry, and you scream into your hoodie at 2 a.m. when the program crashes and you forgot to save. And somewhere in there, you animate. You bring things to life. You turn a sketch into motion, a rig into performance, and you make something that makes someone feel something. That, my friends, that is the magic. So, to all of you entering the world of small studio animations, it's not glamorous, it's not always organized, it rarely pays enough, but it's real. And it will teach you more than any lecture, any online course, or any masterclass by a guy who hasn't animated since 2002. In a small studio, you become scrappy, resilient, and creative as hell. And most importantly, you become part of a tribe that truly gets it. Now go forth, my friends. Animate like no one's watching. Fix that broken rig. Record those footsteps. Make the coffee if you must. And remember, the first thing that you do in a small studio, it isn't draw, it's survive. And then once you survive, you create. Thank you. May your files never corrupt. May your frames always render. I am Citizen Z with Citizen Z Animations, and you people have a wonderful day.